Alright, so in today's video we're checking out the new Taycan C25 MK2. So you can see a totally new design here, very different from the original Taycan C25 you can see here. It's quite a bit lighter, I believe. We'll do the weight measurements momentarily, but it's a little bit slimmer profile, not as wide, so it's going to be better for your tighter gaps, and a totally new frame here. It's still pusher, still 1404 motors. I think it's a different KV. This is the analog version. It does come in DJI versions as well. And this has this unique kind of front and reverse camera mount options. If you're going to do the reverse camera mount, you should use the included stubby antenna. If you are not going to be doing the backwards camera, they have a regular antenna that's included. You can use that. Now they do have the soft mounts on here for the camera to dampen the vibrations. They included two mounts here. One's for a peanut, and you can see the little notch here in the back for the USB power adapter. As you can see, I'm using two Go-Tos instead here because my peanut camera is not currently working properly. Probably from too many crashes. It records, but I don't get any video files. I'm not sure what's up with that. If anyone's seen that problem before, let me know in the comments. My Go-Tos aren't having that problem. But anyway, they have a peanut mount and a regular Go-To mount, and so I'm using both of those. Obviously, you can mount other cameras if you have the mounts for them. The analog camera here, I'm not 100% sure what it is. I think it might be Caddx Ant. I'll list it up here in the page or on the screen. At the time of the recording of this video, this is like an early version. I think they've already made some changes. I don't have the list of the complete number of changes from my early version here. I know one of them was they increased the thickness of this middle plate here where the battery sits. I think they increased it to 2 millimeters to give the center part here more strength. Now they did include an extra frame, but I thought it was the same frame, but it's not, as you can see here. The one that all the parts came on have these cutouts, and I think that makes it maybe a little bit for less prop wash if you're going to be doing more faster flying, maybe doing a little bit of freestyle. And then this one here has no cutouts, and I think it's to direct the airflow through here, and I believe they're mentioning that this is less noisy. This one here with two cameras and a big battery and everything, again, I'll show you the weight here in a second, is kind of on the heavy side, and it is in this configuration fairly noisy. There's also these prop guards on the bottom, so they're carbon fiber. They're kind of thin, so in a crash they're probably going to break, but they will protect the propellers if you're not landing on something that's completely flat. I do wish that they would have included some kind of landing pad on the bottom here, otherwise you're just landing on the screws, which eventually will scratch up, so something to be aware of. You could probably tape some foam pads on the bottom here somewhere along the way and help your landings in that manner. But the differences in the prop guards, I think, I won't be able to demonstrate that because you have to basically tear down the whole quad, move all the parts over, and rebuild the quad. Don't have time for that right now. But they're saying that this is going to be a little bit less noisy with the closed prop guard. But I don't, just take that with a grain of salt because I haven't tested it. I'm just taking their word on that particular claim. I still think it's going to be pretty noisy because this is a fairly heavy setup here with two cameras. But just taking a closer look at the frame itself, you can see it's a single frame. You can see why that center part here needs that stronger carbon fiber piece right here. And that's because it's very flexy in this dimension. It's not as much this way because the prop guards are connected in the front to back area. But then this needs to be very stiff, otherwise you get a lot of flex here. And that's why they increased the thickness of that plate. And that plate is actually screwed into some metal standoffs that are underneath. They go into the underside of these little plastic pieces. So it should hold up pretty well. The rest of the carbon fiber plates in the front and the back are just screwed into the plastic frame itself. So I think that they will strip out in a really hard crash, but assuming the center is stiff, you'd probably be okay there. Alright, so I'm going to give you the weight of this with all of the stuff on here first. We're coming in at 267 grams. everything with 2 cameras, 2 camera mounts, and a 660 milliamp hour Forest LiPo. Okay, and with all that stuff taken off, the drone by itself with just the camera mounts, no battery, is 151 grams. Okay, so just the difference between the motors between the Mark 1 and the Mark 2. The Mark 1 has 5,000 kV 1404s, and the Mark 2 has 4,000 kV 1404s. So they did go to a lower kV, and I think that is to help with the flight time, because the flight time was not so great on the Mark 1, and they're still using the same Gemfan 3-bladed propeller. So the flight stack in here is just an all-in-one flight controller board. It's just their F7 all-in-one. It has the separate USB-C connector here, and that's on this little 3D printer part that's screwed into one of the standoffs here. So it is pretty robust, and again, it's analog. The video transmitter on mine is the TX500, which is the Diatone video transmitter, but it does come in another version. It's with the, I think it's the TBS Pro 32 Nano. So when you go and look at the different listings for the C25 Mark II, there will be different versions, even for the different analog versions. So you can choose the color, analog or digital, or the VTX version. So when you go and look at the different listings down in the video description and you want to know which one you're going to get, be very careful to look at which one you're actually choosing, so you actually get the one that you're expecting to get. Anyway, so a little bit different here on 2.5-inch Cinewhoop with the front and the back cameras. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I think it's kind of a niche thing. I'm not sure if the backwards camera is going to really catch on or not, but it's sort of a novelty at this point. Otherwise, performance and everything is pretty typical for 1404 in this range. Obviously, if you don't want the extra weight, I think you're going to get more flight time with one camera versus 2 go-tos on there. So I think I got 3.5 minutes. I think you could probably bump it up to 4 minutes if you're just doing one camera, and if you just get rid of the extra weight of the camera mount and the rear camera altogether. So that's what I would recommend if you're looking for more flight time and not really interested in the novelty of doing 2 cameras. Otherwise, with 2 cameras and more weight, you're just going to have less flight time. There's really no way around that. Anyway, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Here's the narrated flight footage. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Okay, so a quick message from our sponsor, VR Wave. If you're looking for some high quality diopters for your DJI FPV goggles, these are some ones to check out. I did a review on them a while back. I'll link that in the video description. So these diopters will correct for nearsightedness, farsightedness, and astigmatism. They have options for a blue light filter and anti-glare coating. And of course, they protect the stock lenses from being scratched. For more information, go to www.vr-wave.store or check the link in the description. And we thank VR Wave for sponsoring this video. Okay, so it's carrying a lot of weight, and it's a little on the loud side. There's some sprinklers going over here, so I'm staying away from that area. Be interesting to see what the reverse video will look like. The tune seems okay, but I'm not going to be doing any kind of freestyle or acro. There's a little bit of a breeze, but it's not too bad. I'm going to cruise around a little bit here. Yeah, it's actually pretty loud. It's due to the weight. I'm pretty far away there, and you can still hear it. I'm not going to go too far because I forgot to raise my video transmitter power. It's only 25 milliwatts, but it'll be fine. Tune seems okay on this. Getting some video breakup. Alright, try to go a little faster here and lower the ground. Just about at the end of the battery here. This is a 660 4S. Carrying 2 cameras. Lower flight time is to be expected, but I'll go a little longer here. Maybe about 14 volts and I'll land it. Alright, there we go. So it's about a little over 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes.